Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Land of Brand Laboratory, or as we like to call it, the LOBoratory for short. I am your host, Holly Chantal, the president of the Land of Brand and your lead mad brand scientist. And if you've never joined us before, we meet every Wednesday, 12 o'clock Eastern Time, and we talk about different experiments, strategies, and ways for you to build your brand. And what makes these calls special is, one, they're free. They're answering questions from you guys, and we talk about really what works and what doesn't work. And I share real data from the Land of Brand, testing that we're doing, things that we're trying with clients and that kind of thing, so that you can learn from our mistakes and from our wins. So let's go ahead and switch over to the presentation. So I'm just going to share my screen and then we will dive in. All right. Cool. So if you've never been on this platform before, there is a chat. If you go to the top of your screen, there's a little chat bubble. You can chat with others. You can ask questions. There's a Q&A box as well. I will be answering any questions at the end if there are any. And other than that, you can just sit back and relax. So let's just recap. Membership is free. We meet every Wednesday at 12 o'clock. Replays will be available, so if you have to jump off early or if you miss a week, it's okay. It's way more fun if you're here, though, because we get to chat and answer your questions. And if you have a topic that you'd like to see, you can email me directly at holly@thelandofbrand.com, and I will make sure that it gets onto the schedule. So let's go ahead and get started. Today we are going to talk about why your point of view matters more than your credentials. And on the itinerary today we have the training trap and how to escape it, what prospects are really looking for in a service provider, and why this is also what you should be looking for in a prospect, when credentials and training are important, and knowing where to invest your time and money, and how this all translates into your brand. So this should be a fun topic, especially if you are addicted to training and you're trying to get all of those letters and numbers after your name, or if you're trying to make a decision on whether or not you should be taking a certain training. This call will be for you. So some credentials really do matter, obviously. Obviously, there's certain fields where credentials are a must. Legal, medical, trades, like I don't want to have an electrician come in that's not licensed, those kinds of things. Basically, anywhere where legality and liability, the two big L's, come into play, you have to have credentials. Don't skimp on those. And especially when you're hiring someone, don't skimp on those. But just having the credentials, and this is the point of this call, just having the credentials does not mean that they're the right service provider. So the expertise doesn't always come from the training. For example, I have run my own consulting business now for 7 years. I've been doing branding for the last 5 years. I don't have a degree in marketing. I don't have a degree in branding. My bachelor's degree is actually in animal science, and I have a master's in education. Yes, I did minor in business, but I can tell you that all the classes that I took were pretty much hogwash compared to what I do know from experience and from working with people over the last, however many years. And it's the observations and the real life skills that really make me who I am in my business. And it's my point of view and then what I'm sharing that people are really interested in. You guys aren't looking to see if I have a degree in design, if I have a degree in branding. What you're looking at is, do you resonate with my ideas and does it make sense to you? Does the approach I want to take, do you feel confident that that's going to get you to where you want to go? So that's kind of point number one. We're going to go much more in depth into this. So first, let's talk about the training trap. The training trap is where you feel like you have to keep taking trainings over and over again, or more and more trainings to feel official, or that you feel like if you have blankety blank, people are going to be more likely to trust you. or that if you can offer more, then that's going to be more appealing. You can cast a wider net. Or if you have blank, you'll feel more confident putting yourself out there. And it's not that these are not true. In some cases they can be, but most of the time these are more you limiting yourself and limiting beliefs that people aren't going to trust you, or that what you have is not enough, or that you just need something to make yourself feel confident. And that's when these trainings become crutches. It's just the confidence factor or the branding factor of how to communicate that's actually holding them back. So how do you escape that? Well, first of all, when does it make sense to get training? Because I'm not saying you shouldn't. Trainings are very useful. I am, working on certifications right now for digital marketing, and it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be adding to your skill set. It's just you should need to be doing it for the right reasons. So first of all, when you're starting out and you need a framework to get yourself going, that's a great opportunity to take a training, get some kind of certification that helps you kind of bring everything together. When I started out, I did the Book Yourself Solid Coach certification with Michael Port. And that was really my way getting into the coaching industry. It gave me a formula to follow with my clients. It was backed up by a brand that had already been built. And it also gave me access to a mentor that had been there before me. And he really helped me build my business personally. So when you're starting out, having that kind of framework is worth its weight in gold. What would have been a problem is if, okay, well, now I'm a Book Yourself Solid coach. Now I'm going to get this other certification, and now I'm going to train in this and train in that so that I can add to my arsenal. Or feeling like I need to get other titles after my name so that it looks like I know more of what I'm doing. That's where it becomes a problem, and you actually end up holding yourself back from really getting your business going. The other reason that you might do a certification is that you're working with clients already and you've identified a need that you would like to fulfill. And you already have people ready to buy that. So the fine line here is taking a training because you want to be able to add one more thing because you're not getting clients, and you think that adding one more thing is going to get you clients. That's not going to be the case. The reason why you're not getting clients is not because of the training or the credentials you have. It typically has to do with your brand and how your value is being communicated and or where you're marketing yourself. Those are the keys to getting clients. On the other hand, as I said, I've been working with clients for 7 years now in this industry, and I'm just starting to add some digital marketing certifications to myself. I don't even know if I'm going to put them on the website, but for me, there's a skill set that I've identified that one is going to help me in my business, and two, that I can start using with my clients because we do, the branding framework and understanding the brand logic behind your business. Then we help our clients implement that brand into a website design. And what happens after that? They need to start marketing themselves. And while I love strategizing and can create like these really neat frameworks for how they're going to market themselves, the actual doing, like the done for you type services, I need to keep up on. So that's why I'm adding that to my training and having some of my team go through that training so we can start adding that to our services. That makes sense. We already have a critical mass of clients that need this. It's been expressed to us that this is something that they want us to do. So it makes sense to make that investment of time and money. So if credentials aren't the key, then what is? So if adding trainings and certifications is not going to get you more clients, what's going to? The answer is your point of view, which is also a way of saying your brand. Your brand is an expression of your point of view. So your point of view is basically what you have to say as an expert in your area. People are hiring you for your expertise. So experts have an opinion. They have a point of view. They are not regurgitating information from a textbook or from some type of training they've been on. That's actually the number one way that I can tell if someone is starting out and they don't really know, you know, they're not quite, they might not quite be as proficient as you know, they sound or they look at first glance, is because they can't really communicate what they do or why they do it that way, or you know, what's different about them. That's like, it creates this like BS meter for your prospects. When you start regurgitating information that doesn't really come from within and from you and your expertise, it like sets off these red flags. And part of that is also, it's not that you don't have the expertise, it's not that you don't have a point of view. It just might be that you're not clear on how to communicate it yet, or that you don't have the confidence yet to really stick your stake in the ground and say, this is what I stand for, this is what I'm doing, and this is why I do it this way. So we will talk towards the end about how to start crafting your point of view. But first, let's get to where we are right now. So experts have an opinion and they have a point of view. They have something to say. They have a stand. They're authoritative and they are confident about their subject. So they will tell you something that maybe you don't want to hear. Their point of view may not resonate with everyone, and that's actually a good thing. Your point of view and your brand should have a polarizing effect. What that means is it should turn some people off and other people really, really on. The people that you turn on are going to be your best clients because they resonate with you in the way you do things. The point of view may also not necessarily be right, because most of the time there is not a right or wrong. There are just different opinions and different ways of doing things. Perfect example of this is right now, just as a personal example, I'll try not to be TMI, but you know, I'm pregnant, I'm due next week, that's why this is our last call for a while. And you know, talking to different doctors, and I've had to switch doctors because their point of views are different. They have the same credentials, they have the same, you know, training that I need to make sure that they can take care of me in a healthy way and take care of my baby, but our points of view might not match up. So I like to take a more natural approach to things. I, you know, was taking supplements and vitamins to help me battle morning sickness, and my doctor flipped out on me because she said that that was not an FDA-approved way to do that. Now her credentials were the same as this other doctor that I'm now seeing that fully supports me using natural methods because, you know, she in her opinion, they are safe. So do you guys see what the difference there is? Neither one might be right or wrong. People are going to resonate with completely, you know, with each of them. Some people are going to be like, yes, I'm, you know, full on board with, let's stick with everything that's FDA approved and that kind of thing. And other people are going to be like, no, I want to stick with the more natural methods. So it depends on which one you resonate with and who you agree with in the approach that makes sense to you, to who you're going to hire and who you're going to stick with. That's just kind of a little side example that hopefully illustrates the point that I'm trying to make. So your point of view matters. It establishes you as an expert because you have an opinion and you're not just regurgitating information. It's going to resonate with the people that you'll serve best. So the people that are like, yes, that makes sense, I totally agree with you, and not, you know, you're rubbing them the wrong way, or they like that just doesn't feel right. That's why it matters, because it has that polarizing effect. And it communicates why you're different. It helps set you apart in the marketplace, because when you put your stake in the ground and you share that point of view and that stand, it tells everyone else in the marketplace what you're about. And you'll see this, I think I have a slide about this, but you'll see this all the time in marketing. Watch commercials. In those commercials, you'll see the point of view. You'll see, like I'm trying to think of a good example. Of course, I don't have any off the top of my head, but if you guys name a company, I might be able to come up with one. So like, you know, I know the insurance companies are really like this. So Progressive, their point of view is that you should be getting discounts for bundling. Let's just say that's it. That you should be getting discounts if you're staying loyal to them and you're insuring multiple things. That you deserve that. I think Allstate also has, maybe, is it their campaign that's about when you have accident forgiveness? Can't remember which company it is. But their point of view is that one accident shouldn't jack up your rates. If you resonate with that, you're going to be more likely to hire them than Progressive because the accidents are more important to you than the bundling. Does that make sense? So whatever their point of view is, and that thing that they're going to make their differentiator is going to gravitate you toward one or the other. And oops, pay attention to this. Sorry, let me. Sorry, my phone's ringing. My accountant's calling me. Hopefully that's not a bad thing. So back, all my phones are ringing. Okay. Backing up. So, sorry guys, I totally lost my train of thought there. Communicates why you're different, it polarizes, and let's just move on because I don't remember what the third point was. All right, so pinpointing your point of view. So how do you come up with what your point of view is? So I like to start with, if someone wants to work with you, what should they know up front? Oftentimes that will tell you kind of where you're opinionated or not. For example, when someone comes to us and wants to do a website design, because that is something that we offer, and it's, you look at the Land Brand website, you look at our portfolio, and you might think, oh, I really want them to create our website because they do fantastic work. Well, if you hire us, we don't ever hire just for our website design. We're not order takers. We don't, you can't just tell us what you want and we create it. Our point of view is that you need to have the underlying brand logic first before we're going to be able to create a design that works for you. So our approach is always to do brand strategy up front, get those foundational pieces in place so that we know what we're communicating, we know what the strategy is, we know who we're talking to, and how you're going to be marketing yourself. Then we design a website that supports that. So has the structural elements, has the right look, the feel, the personality, has the right messaging that all support the brand. So that's my point of view in how websites should work. And I tell that to people before we even have a conversation. If you're just looking for a website design, we may not be for you. This is how I work. And what that does is, most of the time, people resonate with that. They're like, oh, that makes total sense. I do want a website that works for me, that's going to support my brand. I don't want to have to redo this again, and I don't know what to ask for. Those are the type of people that are going to be my ideal clients. The ones that are saying, nope, I already know what I want. I just need someone to actually create it for me. That's not the kind of projects I like to work on. Nothing against them. They may be fantastic people to work with. But as far as what intrigues me about projects and work and the client work that I do, it isn't as fun for me, so I'm not going to take those projects. I like to be more selective in who we work with. So don't be afraid to get opinionated. Think about, what do you see wrong in your industry? Where do you see people fumbling when they're hiring other service providers that do what you do? Where do you see people fumbling when they're doing things on their own? What are some things that just make your blood boil, that you wish that you could change? Those are the kinds of things that are really going to resonate and help you make a stand for change. On the other hand, you also want to look at what's right in your industry. What are you seeing people do that is so fantastic, that's exciting? That's also a part of it. And then how do these things factor into your approach? So how do you do things differently to solve these problems or to bring about those results? And why do you do them that way? Think about that. So why do you do things the way you do? How would you explain that to a prospect? And why is that important to them, that if they were to hire you, that it would make all the difference in the world? Do you see how being able to describe that really, it helps communicate your value, it sets you apart, and you're seen as an expert because you're not just regurgitating information from a book. You're giving them, these are my observations in the industry. You're positioning yourself as a thought leader, and that's going to go a long way to establishing that trust and to seeing who resonates with you and your approach. And this is all about your brand. So your brand is what communicates all of this for you. So your tagline should be communicating this. Your about page communicates this. How you talk about what you do communicates this. The programs that you create and how you actually deliver those programs communicates this. All of these make up your brand. Your brand is the experience and the perceptions that people have with your business. And as I said, watch commercials. You'll start to notice the point of views of each company. And sometimes they might be expressing different point of views depending on what the commercial is focused on. But each commercial usually has one key message in it. See if you can identify what that key message is. And I will guarantee that apples to apples, if you're looking at all these different companies that all have the same credentials, the same skill sets, is the point of view that will make you hire them over someone else. And the companies that you're most loyal to are the ones where you resonate with their message. So once you find that company that you fall in love with, chances are you're falling in love with them because of the way they look at the world, because of the way they do things that's different, and why they do them that way really resonates with you. So pay attention to that, because that is the key to branding and setting yourself apart and to attracting amazing, loyal customers that will buy from you over and over again. You want to create that as well. And you do that by starting with understanding your point of view and your brand, not by taking training after training and accumulating letters after your name. So in conclusion, all things equal, credentials are not what is going to get someone to hire you. Sometimes they matter, especially when we're looking at those big L's, legal and liability. Like legal as in, like, you can't legally practice unless you have credentials, and then liability as in, you could get sued if something went wrong and you didn't have the credentials you needed. So, but those are not going to be the reasons people hire you, because, like I said, you could have two different doctors, same credentials, different opinions, and you're going to choose the one that you resonate with most. The more specific you are in your point of view, the more you're going to resonate with the right people and turn off the people that you shouldn't be working with. And I know it might be scary sounding to say you're going to turn people off and that you're not going to work with them, but trust me, you'll be so much happier working with the people that really resonate with why you do things the way you do. And they're going to be the ones that talk about you and rave about you and tell all of their friends and get them to buy your stuff. And last but not least, you are an expert. You do not need more training. You do not need all of these external things to tell you that you're an expert and start putting yourself out there. Your brand is what's going to communicate your expertise. So figuring out what that is going to be what's going to help you get those clients. So that is our topic for today. I don't see any questions in the Q&A box or the chat. If you have any at the last second, please go ahead and type them in. But for now, so this is our last call for a couple weeks. I'm planning on being back in May, but if dates change, I will let you know. But for now, put on your calendar May 4th, 12 o'clock Eastern. We're going to be talking about filling your programs in the right time for you to go group. So if you're working with a lot of one-on-one clients, you're trading time for money, we're going to talk about when it's time for you to go from one-on-one services to group programs, and then how you actually fill those programs. So that should be a really hot topic. And Anne says, thank you, congratulations on your new arrival. We can chat when you get back. Yes, I'm very excited. Due next week, pretty huge. My best friend actually just had her baby at 9 o'clock this morning, and we were due just a couple days apart from each other, so that's really exciting. So I'm very excited. I'm having a little boy, Anne. And so I love seeing you guys every week. We will be posting the replays to the blog shortly so that you guys can peruse the last couple of weeks if you've missed them. I hope you all have a fantastic April. Hopefully spring will be here soon. We just got 6 inches of snow here in New Hampshire. No idea what's going on with that. But when I see you again, it will be spring. It'll be beautiful. And I look forward to reconnecting with you guys in a couple of weeks. In the meantime, you can still feel free to email me. I won't answer if I can't, so don't worry about bothering me. But I will be looking for topics and questions to answer when we get back. So have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Bye, everyone.